welcome everyone. I am Saida Arzoo and I am here to explain what the functions are in computer programming. So let's move toward the basic definition of a function. So by reading this all the slide, we can get to that conclusion that the functions are basically used to compress a code. Like if you use function in a code, it's work as a compressor. Like if you use if or else statement in a question, you have to repeat that statement again and again to complete your code. But by using function or loops, you can just put a function in a line and give it a condition and declare the function and all that stuff, and you can get your required answer at written here. I'll read this slide for you guys. A function groups a number of program statement into a unit and give it a name. Like a number of program, if you have like if you have many programs, it gives a function gives a single name or single statement to that program. This unit can be invoked from other parts of the program. The most important reason to use functions is to aid in the conceptual organization of program. Another reason to use functions is to reduce program size. Any sequence of instruction that appear in program more than once is candidate for being made into a function. Like if you are using if and else statement again and again, or any statement like see out or seen statement again and again, you can simply use a function to compress it and to just give to just declare it in a function. The function's code is stored in only one place in memory, even though the function is executed many times in the course of program. So another reason is to use function is that it's stored in only one memory. Like if you are using many things in a function, it will only store in a one memory, so it takes the less data and less size. Let's to move toward the next slide. Here we are using a function to take the cube. Like if we take, like we have to take the cubes of 1 2 3 4 numbers consequently, simultaneously. So we if we use something like statement or simple code, we have to repeat the same cout statement again and again for each and every number and take the input from the user like 4 times. But if we are using while function and then we use while statement inside the function, we use we use only we can take only one input from the output from from the user and give a one output from the user and give only a one input. Like here we give in 13 line the cube n. Okay, and we can return the all the answer in the formula, like a cube is this, where we have declared cube already. So by using this we can get our required answer, which is written here. Like if we enter first number six, if we enter a number, but if we use some other statement, we have to take the input from the user like 4 times, and we have to display it in a compiler 4 times. It's take our code too lengthy and it take a lot of memory as well, but in function it's stored only in one memory. So it's quite beneficial for a programmer to use function in their programs. Let's move toward the next program. Here we have to guess that we have the compiler to guess that which number is maximum or which number is minimum. Here we are again using function. Here we declared a number like 1. Enter two integers. 0 is the first integer to exist. We use while statement. If the statement is true, it's maximum. But if it's equal to 0, we have to break the statement. We are using case condition here. Then if n is greater, it's maximum. If n is like if we put two number m and n, if m is greater, it's okay. If m is 0, it will break the function, and other will be the maximum. And then we have to return all this statement to 0. At the end we are using function statement like maximum x या y में से कोई होगा, and then we take it if x is greater than y and x ratio y. This is all that we are using function in the end, and we can assemble or assign all the things there. Then moving toward next code, here we have to take the factorial. Factorial is that if the number is 1, multiplied 1 time. If the number is 2, multiplied 2 times 3, then it's 3 times 3 2 are 6, and 6 1 is 6, like that. And we are familiar. This is the easiest code. By using function, we are taking the factorial of a number. We are using if and while statement as well, but in the end we assemble all these code in a one statement. Move toward like this is all this code is also part of the first code, but here we are using function and putting all the things. Like if we are not using a function, we have to use statement again and again, but we can put all the things in the functional statement and we can get our required answer easily. move toward our Move toward our next layer. Here we have to take permutation. Permutation is that we are familiar with the formula of permutation: n factorial divided by n minus r factorial. So here we get like from 14 to 17 line, we are putting a formula for permutation, and then after that we are using function. Prior to that, we are just declaring and giving it a condition that if one condition is true or not, and using putting the formula like we use in 11 line. If n is equal to 8 and r is equal to 3, its factorial can be 8p3, which is 336. Like if you solve this mathematically, factorial, permutation, combinations are the mathematical terms. So it can be easy to it's already stored in the memory of computer, so it's easy to detect the compiler these things if we put it seriously in a great condition. Like if we are using PRM, the computer will understand that we are talking about permutation. Like these are the things which are already stored in the memory. So we just have to use perm and get the permutation. Now move toward things that why are we using functions, and what are the benefits of using function. That what's the reason of using function. Like using function must be difficult for many students, but why still we are using that. These are the reason we are using the function. Make copy of data. Changes to the parameter do not affect the original variable. The original data stay intact, that is safe, it's slower. It's best of small and simple data like integers and floats, best for integers and float. Then passing by refers, parsing original variable address, changing the parameter directly affect the original variable. Efficient for large data because you can avoid copying. Faster for big structures and best for large complex structure. Like after reading all these points and all these things, the end conclusion will always be that like it compresses. Like if you have to make your code faster, smaller, look efficient, and store large data in a small thing, you can use function. It's easy. Moving toward our next code is about next code we are using another function. If a is equal to 22 and b is equal to 44, we are using f. Like here f is the thing. Like uh, we are explaining this code further. Like this is the code which I do not understand, so we will discuss it later. Let's talk about other things of function. A function call involves sustainable overhead. Extra time and space have to be used to invoke function. Pass parameter to it, allocates storage for its local variables, store the current variables and location of execution in the main program. In some cases, it is better to avoid all this by specifying the function to be inline. So here we are talking about inline, why inline is important and why it's good to use inline function. Like we are using inline function here. Inline law is all that the thing we are going to describe in many lines, we can describe it only in one line. The difference is that we have to use only this inline. Like in the sixth line, it's mentioned inline float. We have to use inline only and declare its on return, and give it a return, and this and then we use this return to get our required answer. Like if we enter our weight in pounds, the weight in kilograms is that. Here we are taking output input from the user. Enter your weight in pounds and weight in kilogram will be given. But we already use inline function prior to that and give it a formula and all the goods thing, so we can get our required answer. So it's good to use inline function. Then move toward our next code. This code is same. Enter an integer. Factorial of 4 is you called me one time, you called me two times, you called me three times, and you called me four times. Like we know that if we take factorial of 4, we have to multiply 4 with 3, then with 2, then with 1. We have to call 4 four times. So we can get our required factorial. So this is that we have to call it prime by time, so it's easy for the other person to understand the code or what the factorial is doing. So it's easy for the other to understand what factorial is doing. This can also be done by using function and if else statement inside the function, but this if else statement must be short because function is used. Then moving toward our Arduino's code. Here we have to declare the pin and mode and wires. Then we just have to tell the compiler that connect this wire with the that wire by using code, and we can glow our LED. Here we do not have to use any kind of loop or if else statement. We can only tell the compiler to combine the wire with the LED so that it can be glue. So this is all about functions which I understand. I hope you will understand it fine. I'll come again with a fine and good video and good functional concept. Like I am the beginner, so I didn't know anything good about the functions. I'll make sure to learn more and then share it with you guys. Thank you so much for watching.